Okay, so the question at hand here is that there's a person with an assembly. It's got a flat metal part in it. Flat metal part, I would guess, like in the flat pattern, would have a certain form to it, and then it gets bent. So my suggestion here is perhaps considering using sheet metal. You can create this part with using the sketch bend feature. And that would put a nice little bend in that. So what you do is you take your flat pattern, you put, you create the form of what that part's going to look like. Then you put a very specific bend in a very specific location. And sheet metal is a really good application for that. So let's go ahead and get started. So I opened up my template file. I'm in inch-pound seconds. I have a sketch all ready to go, and I already assigned plain carbon steel for my material. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and go up here to sheet metal. And we're going to start this by going to Base Flange tab. So this does two things. This is going to be a real quick introduction to sheet metal and how sheet metal could actually work. And this is one of the SolidWorks applications that you're designing for manufacturing. And what sheet metal allows you to do is it allows you to create a part in an ultimate form, but it also gives you a flat pattern. Because all sheet metal parts start with a flat pattern. And what the sketch bend is going to allow you to do is it's going to show you a location. We're going to put a clamp and another location where you're going to be able to bend it around that where that clamp is going to be. And that clamp is defined. It's going to be defined in a drawing, perhaps, by a center line. And everything's going to be bent around that center line with a specific radius. So you can never bend anything with a complete 90-degree angle. It's just not going to work. It's, the metal's going to get very brittle, and even though it might be 90 degrees on the inside and the outside, it's still going to have a radius to it. So sheet metal takes all that in consideration when you do that. So to get started with that, we're going to go to Base Flange tab. It's like an Extruded Boss base. It's going to do two things. We're going to put a folder in our feature manager tree with some of the specifics, generalized characteristics that we're going to be able to apply in sheet metal. It's going to have that in there. Plus, it's going to give us like a, Extruded Boss base. So let's do that. We're going to go to Base Flange tab. It's going to ask us for a sketch. So we're going to go and click on the sketch we have. And you'll notice it's giving us a thickness and it's showing us the direction of that. One thing you'll notice in here, it's not going to allow us to do a mid-plane extrude. It's going to allow us to pick on one side of the sketch or the other in order to put that in place. So I chose a value of 0.05 inches, a little bit thick, thicker than it needs to be. And what that does, it provides a nice preview in here of what we're going to get. So if you want to do reverse direction, we could do that. It's going to go on top of the sketch. Or if you go back to the default setting, it's going to go to the bottom of the sketch. Either one would work. I think it'll be fine. So the K-factor, just real quick, K-factor defines how the metal is going to be bent. Typically, it's a neutral plane in the middle, which doesn't get bent. But it's the inside plane, which is when it gets bent, it's going to be in compression. The outside surface, rather than plane, but the outside surface or the inside surface is what we should be describing here. But the outside surface is going to be in tension. It's going to actually be pulling apart. So K-factor, depending on the material that you choose, is typically in the middle, but there might be variations to that. We're not going to get into any details in that. But just so you know, these are some of the parameters we're setting up from the very beginning. It's going to be embedded into our sheet metal part. In auto relief, if we were to bend like only a portion of this, some of it's going to be flat, some of it's going to be bent, we're going to have to make a cut in there. So that's what auto relief is. And it could be rectangular. We could just do a plain old tear or obround. Obround kind of puts a kind of circular end in that, but again, we're not going to go in that sort of detail, but these are some of the choices you can make. And we're going to use a ratio of 0.5 in here and just keep with all the default settings. So once we do that, we go to the green check mark, it kind of does an Extruded Boss base. But one thing you'll notice up here, it also gives you a sheet metal folder, and it's got the sheet metal parameters in here. If we were to right-click and add or right-click in the folder, it does the same thing. Now we have the capacity in here to define our sheet metal again. So we have the K-factor in here. We're not going to override anything. We have our auto relief, which is rectangular. Again, the default settings in here. And then we're not going to go ahead and pick anything fixed phase for an edge. We're not going to pick anything here. But just to let you know, we can override some of these factors in here if we go into that sheet metal, what looks like a sheet metal feature. And if we right-click up here at the very top of the folder, now we have the capacity to actually change some of these. So we're not going to change any of these. We'll save that for future videos. But what we have in here is that feature, kind of like an Extruded Boss base. So now we're going to put in our sketch bend. Alrighty then, so let's put in our sketch bend, and what we want to do before we start this, we're going to go ahead and highlight the sketch that defines this feature. So we might be able to do some dimensioning off that base sketch. So we're going to go ahead and show that sketch, which is part of our base feature. You can see where that sketch is oriented or how it's oriented. So we have it on the top of our part in here. It's on the top surface of that, and we kind of extruded that down. So let's go ahead and put another sketch line in here. We're going to call that our sketch bend. So we can do that a couple different ways. We can go up here to sketch bend and click on that, and it's asking kind of like what it does if we didn't initiate a sketch first before we did a feature. We're going to go ahead and choose a face, and we're going to sketch that on. We're just going to choose an arbitrary line. It has to be a model line to do that. And then when we go ahead and go to the green check mark, and we're going to go to the green check mark again, keep all of the default settings, now we have that line in place. So while that's still active, we can go back to sheet metal. We're going to go back to sketch bend. Now you can see what it's going to do. So bend parameters, it's going to ask us on which side we want to have the fixed face. So if we go ahead and choose on this side over here, it's going to bend this part. If we choose this side, it's going to bend that part. So we're going to go ahead and choose this part over here. We're going to bend that portion down here. Now you can see what that looks like. So if we turn that sideways, you see a preview of what that's going to do. A couple different things in here. It's going to write on that line in here. With the options that we've set in here, it's going to bend right at the center line, but we can choose other things too, where everything's going to be on the outside. If you rest your cursor on that, the material is going to be inside, actually. That's going to be the material on the inside. That's going to be the material in the middle. This is going to be where the bend is going to be on the outside. Material on the outside, sorry about that. Material is going to be outside, but this one is going to be bend on the outside. So you can see the different selections that you can have in here. So our bend radius, remember, is going to be 0.05, and that's going to be this radius in here. It's always going to be in the inside. The radius in the outside is going to grow from that, but the radius in here are going to be concentric with each other. So this radius out here is going to be that radius in here plus a thickness of the material, which should be like 0.1, I think it ultimately adds up to. So the bend degrees in here, we can make that like maybe 10 degrees rather than 90 degrees. 90 degrees kind of shows that a little bit better. Kind of shows you what that's going to look like. And again, we can go ahead and show what that's going to look like depending on the different kind of bends that we choose up here. So once we go to do that, if we go to the green check mark, bing, now we have that in place. So one nice thing about this is we can go up here to our sheet metal portion, our sheet metal tab in the command manager, and go to the flatten. And what that does is it flattens our part. Now you can see that we have a line in here which defines where that bend's going to be. So that's going to translate to a drawing. So quite typically you can take a 2D drawing and clamp down your piece in here on that 2D drawing and put your clamps right there on that line and make the bend and bend that part of it while you have this portion of it clamped down. So that's a flat panner. What that does is just suppresses and unsuppresses this feature down here. So suppress, unsuppress does the same thing. Flatten, unflatten does the same thing up here. Alrighty, so let's do more. Actually, let's do more. So if we go to our sketch bend, actually take a look at this and show you where that sketch bend line is. Since we chose a mid option in here, you see that that line is right on top of that center line. And this line defines our sketch bend is right on top of that center line in here. But if we were to take that sketch bend and modify that a little bit, instead of it being right in the middle, let's go ahead and do some extreme. Let's do the bend on the outside and see what that does. Now you can see that that bend line is moved a little bit. So depending on where that bend line is, depends on how your model actually gets bent, how your part gets bent. So with that said, let's go ahead and define that line a little bit. So we're going to go to our sketch 6. The line is underdefined. So let's go ahead and do something with that. Let's go ahead and take that line. We're going to make that horizontal. Maybe pull that down a little bit. And then we're going to put a dimension between this line and maybe the edge up here. We can make that like maybe 1 1/4 inch, perhaps. Kind of puts it down there. Let's go and rebuild and see what that does. And if we go ahead and flatten and unflatten that, still works, as we would anticipate. So you can see that we don't necessarily have to have that line fully defined in order for this to work. But it's always good, I don't like seeing negative signs in my feature manager when it comes to sketches. So you could conceivably bring that in. But let's do something just a little bit drastic. Let's bring in both endpoints of that line and see if it actually works there too. So the line is just there as kind of a marker, kind of as a reference. Doesn't necessarily have to be fully defined, kind of like a rib feature. But again, if you want to do that, if you want to pull that line into the very edge, you could do that too. So we can go ahead and click on that point and that edge. We can make that coincident. And this point and that edge, we can make that coincident too. and go ahead and rebuild that. Let's choose something a little bit more drastic. Let's go ahead and right-click in that sketch, go to Edit Sketch Plane, and let's do this. Let's take it and put it on the bottom rather than the top and see what happens. So now it kind of does that. So now we have our fixed portion up here. If we were to right-click in that and select the face, it's going to be fixed. Now it would change that. So we originally had it back here, so we're going to have it over here. But we can put it back here if we want to do that. And put that fixed face back here, and then go to the green check mark and see what that does. But if you look at that, what it really does, it actually puts it down here. So our fixed face is going to be on the face where that line's going to be, which defines that bend. So if we put it on the bottom down here on a model, then we have to put that fixed face over here or over here in order for that to work. We cannot choose this surface up here for it to bend on the bottom. That's not going to work. And if we did that initially, it's not going to allow us to do that. So it kind of makes that correction for us. But let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and go back to our sketch 6. Go ahead and select our what we had before. We're going to go ahead and select that face for that. And then we're going to go back to the original design that we had. Okay, so let's do a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and put a point in this. So this original part, the way it looked, had a point on the very end of it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to go back to our base feature, which is where our base flange is. We're going to go ahead and edit that sketch. Kind of move that around a little bit so we can see it a little bit better, and just make it normal to the screen might be easier. And in order to maintain our existing sketch geometry, we're going to go ahead and take this line in here. We're going to turn that into a center line into construction geometry. And now we're going to put in some lines down here. So it's got a point down here, and the point's going to be symmetrical, but we're going to exaggerate that a little bit. And you know, there's a couple of different ways we could do this in order to put this, make sure that that point is going to be vertical to this point or the origin, you know, the point at the center of the rectangle. We could do that too. We can actually click on this point and that point and actually make that vertical, and that'll work. And actually, let's just try that. So if we click on these two, we can make that vertical. And if we try to move that point around, it's not going to let us do that, or actually it will let us do that. But let me show you a different way. Let's get rid of that vertical sketch relation and try something different. We're going to take these two lines in here. We're going to make those equal to each other. Now watch, remember the functionality that we had before when we made that vertical? We were able to take that point and move that around. Can't do that this way. So that's kind of weird. I don't know, it worked one way, but it won't work the other. We know it's not fully defined. But if we were to take a center line as a way to get around that, not like it's a real big deal here because we're going to define that in a different way. If we were to take a center line and put that in there, now we can stretch it like we did before. So kind of strange. So I think that's probably close to what the shape was. Let's go ahead and put a smart dimension between this line and that point and put that in there. It's really close to 2.5, so we're going to make that 2.5. If we go ahead and rebuild that, now we have our bend. So if we go back and go to our base sketch bend, right click on that, go to the options in here. So right now we have both the bend and the material on the outside. The bend's on the outside. This one's going to be the material on the outside. It kind of moves a little bit. And of course that's going to be the bend and the material on the inside. Then we're going to put it right there in the middle. So slight changes in there as we go through, but that's one way where you can take a flat sheet metal type part that's got a certain form to it and be able to put a bend in it relatively quickly, and at the same time actually do that design for manufacturing. So in the very end, you're going to get a flat pattern with a cut out piece of metal where the bend line is going to be, and if you clamp it down at that bend line and put in with the appropriate bend radius in here, you get a part that actually can be manufactured using sheet metal methods.